Hello again, Nemo here, with a more serious video. So you all know Mario, right? And you probably know how the story goes with the games. Princess Peach gets captured by Bowser and Mario has to go save her. And for the time of the original Super Mario Bros. Release, it wasn't the most original story, but it was quite stimulating for the time since before Nintendo, they had this. But then she got captured again, and again, and again, and again, and again, again. Don't you think it's kinda gotten old? And nobody has really talked or complained about it, as if they accept it as it is. So I'm here to compare other games' stories to Mario's to see how empty and rushed they are. Now when I thought of games to compare to Mario, the first thing that came to my mind was Zelda. But the problem with Zelda is that it differs quite a lot from Mario. For example, Mario can be a 2D or 3D platformer, and the main goal is to get to the end of each level. However, Zelda can be a lot of things. It can have puzzle elements, action, a lot of story, and sometimes even RPG elements. The only excuse to compare the two is that they're both Nintendo. But onto the actual argument. Breath of the Wild took a really tight turn when it came to story elements, in a good way of course. The game takes place 100 years or more after the previous games. When video game franchises do this, it can heavily impact the stories. Nintendo would never let Mario do this, because it would change the story too much, so they'd have to rework the entire franchise. But wouldn't that be a fresh start from the same old princess captured, please save? They could keep the gameplay just about the same, but just with a different story to it. There is also another franchise that Mario could take inspiration from, and that being Sonic. So now Sonic has had his ups and downs from time to time, but his storytelling is quite decent. Most classic games don't tend to have heavy stories, but most modern ones do. I don't mean Colors and Generations, I mean The Adventures and Unleashed. These games evoke a dark and eerie story from a giant mutated Chao to literally hell, rising from the center of the planet. Whilst Forces, on the other hand, might not have been executed very well, it still had a better story than you-know-who. Also, doesn't Mario have two RPG series? Those being Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games. All of these games have better told stories than any of the main Marios. And Crash Bandicoot, he does it a lot better as well. But there is one game that I believe Mario should take from, and that is from his own Super Mario Galaxy. But we're not talking about the game's plot, but rather a side story, that being Rosalina's storybook. This story is a great big mixture of emotions. It follows Aluma and a young girl. Aluma claims it's waiting for its mama, so they set off on an adventure to find her. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't played Mario Galaxy, but if you have, you know what I mean. In fact, the game is beautiful in general, from its aesthetic right down to its soundtrack. Why can't more Mario games be like this? Why not change it up a little? Perhaps Peach could help Mario through an adventure of some sort, like a 3D world, but with more heavy and touching story elements. And Bowser isn't really a bad guy. Like, he doesn't want to hurt Peach, he just has feelings for her. Maybe Bowser could be a bit fiercer, not to get Peach, but maybe to take over the world or galaxy. That might be a bit over the top though. That's really all I wanted to say, so see you later then.